Hello. In this video, we will learn about the filter function in Excel.
We can use Excel's filter function to filter data based on given criteria. For example, in a data set, we can find the sales records where the sales value is greater than $1,000. The syntax is filter. We got arguments array, include, and if empty. Array is basically the data set that we want to filter. For include, you can give criteria like whether a number is greater than or equal to some number, or you can give other criteria based on dates, times, and multiple other values. The if empty argument is optional. This is where you can specify what to return when no results are returned. So let's look at an example. So here we got some scores obtained by different students at an examination. We want to find the scores that are greater than or equal to 50. So we can write the function like this: equals filter, and the array is where the data is located, the scores. For include, we can give the criteria. So what we want to do is give the criteria range again like this. And these scores should be greater than or equal to 50. So that's the criteria we need to go for. And I will leave the optional argument blank and close bracket, present. So I got all the results that are greater than or equal to 50 in this filtered list. I can also have the value for the criteria in a cell like this and refer to that in the function. So I can do like this: equals, again filter, range array is this, and again the criteria is this range is greater than or equal to, here I will give cell reference instead of the 50, and close bracket, present. So I get the same result. Now here I got some sales data with the names of the salespeople, product, region, units, and the sales in USD. Now if I want to filter out the names that are equal to Chloe, I can use a filter like this: equals filter, and I just need the name range, so I will give that as the array. And the criteria I'm going to give for include is the name is equal to, and I can refer to this cell where I have typed in the name, and close bracket and present. So I got 2 occurrences of Chloe. So that's why I get 2 names returned over here. So if I have another name, for Maya, I only got 1 record here. If I want the other values of the columns also returned, I can write the formula this way: equals filter. And for array, I will give the whole range because I want all the columns to be returned. And then include is basically where the criteria name needs to be equal to this name over here. Then I can close bracket, press enter. And I got the records for Maya. So if I change the name back to Chloe, I got the records returned for Chloe with the other fields. I can also, instead of referring to this cell over here, I can give the name Chloe inside here in the formula using double quotations. Instead of the cell reference, I can put double quotation CHLOE and close the double quotations. And I get the same result. I can specify what to do or return if there's no matching data as well. To do that, I can write the formula like this. Filter. So I'll give the whole range like this, comma, and the name needs to be equal to whatever I input over here. So name column needs to be equal to here, this reference. And then I put a comma, and if empty, I can say no match. So I need to type that within double quotations, no match. And close bracket, press enter. So here, of course, there's no match for X in this name list. So if I change this to Alice, so I got the names returned for Alice. Let's see how we can handle multiple criteria. So far, we have only looked at one criteria. So unlike the sum ifs, count ifs, and other functions which allow us to input criteria for multiple conditions, the filter function doesn't have a direct way for us to enter multiple criteria. So to get around this, the trick we are going to use is we are going to use what's called Boolean algebra. So under Boolean algebra, if you have true in a cell, that is converted to 1 as a number inside the function. If we have false, that is converted to a 0 inside the function. So if you check for a criteria and you get a true, that is converted to a number 1 in the function. And if it's false, it's converted as a 0. So we can use the multiplication or the asterisk math operator to demarcate AND logic. And we can use the plus operator to demarcate OR logic. So what happens is, if I have two rows like this, 1 and 1, and I multiply that together, I will get 1. So here the 1 is taken as the AND condition is true. So another situation where I might get is, I get a 1 and a 0. So if I multiply 1 by 0, I get 0. So here, only if both conditions are true, like 1 and 1, the AND condition returns 1, and we say the condition is fulfilled. If 1 is true and 1 is false, the multiplication gives 0. So in this case, we say the AND condition is not fulfilled or it's false. So let's look at an example where we can use AND logic. We have this sales data and we want to find records where the name is equal to Chloe and the product is equal to Aquafusion. So both of these conditions or criteria need to be fulfilled, and it's a AND logic we are going to use. So we are going to use multiplication. So we can write the function like this, filter, and since we want to return all of the fields, I will take the whole range as the array, and I will give the include criteria and by using a multiplication. So I will first give the first criteria, that is where the name, this range, needs to be equal to Chloe. And then I will put this inside a bracket like this. So that is my first criteria. And then I will use asterisk or multiplication to demarcate AND logic, and I will open another bracket and give the second criteria where the product, this range, needs to be equal to Aquafusion, and I will close the bracket. So that's both of my criteria included. And I will close the bracket and press enter. So I got both criteria fulfilled. Name is Chloe, product is Aquafusion. If I go inside that formula and go into the include section, you can see the values over here, 0, 0, 0, 0, and then there's a 1, and then there's another 1. So those are the two situations where the name is equal to Chloe and the product is equal to Aquafusion. So the other records are not returned. So these are the only two times that we got 1 for the multiplication. So only when both of these criteria are fulfilled, we get 2 ones, and 1 by 1 becomes 1. So if one of these are 0, you don't get a 1. So these two situations, the 2 ones are basically what we got here as shown as 2 records. So now let's look at the all logic situation where we want the name to be Chloe and the product to be Aquafusion, and it can be either. Sometimes it can be only the name that is equal to Chloe, and sometimes it can be the product which is equal to Aquafusion. So either of these criteria needs to be fulfilled. Either of these means all. So it can be a situation both of them are satisfied. It can be a situation both criteria are fulfilled, but that is the exception. We are just looking here for at least one of these criteria to be fulfilled. So let's see how we can use the function equals filter. Now I want all the range to be returned, so I will select the whole range and I will start the first criteria with the open bracket, and the name should be equal to Chloe. That's one criteria. And now since I'm going for all logic, instead of the asterisk, I will go for plus. And then I can start the second criteria where the product needs to be equal to Aquafusion. And I close the bracket and close the main bracket and press enter. So now I got this records return. So this is Alice and these are Chloe. And we got Emma's name returned as well. So Emma's name got returned because the product is Aquafusion in this case. So that record got returned. And Alice is not equal to Chloe, but we got that returned because Aquafusion is the product we want. And Sophia is also there because she has sold Aquafusion, which we want. So it's basically taken all logic where either the name is equal to Chloe or the product is equal to Aquafusion. So we got a special case where Chloe and Aquafusion are both fulfilled as well. So we can actually extend this for multiple criteria using a plus sign. If you want to check for another third criteria, we can include another plus and give the third or logic or the third or condition. And same way for here, for AND logic. If you want to add multiple other criteria, you can combine them using an asterisk like this between the different criteria. So for example, if I want the units to be greater than 15 or something, I can put asterisk and have that third condition added. If you again go into this AND function, if you go into this first AND function we used. And if you select the first range like this, you'll see false, false, false like that, and one true, another true, and 3 trues. And if you check the other criteria, also you'll see false, false, false. We got trues here and there. So whenever both of these conditions have true here and true here, they will get multiplied and that will become 1. And those are the only records that we capture over here. In the OR logic function, if you come here and select the first criteria, you will get false, false, and then trues. So only the true values are taken into this record. And it's a plus, so any true records coming on the second criteria are also taken into this filter. So let's look at an example where we can use filter along with sort function. So we use sort with filter when we want to sort the filtered results in some order. So first we'll do a filter function to filter this data. And let's say we want to filter it by the product Aquafusion. So I will select the product range and type equals Aquafusion. And close bracket and press send. So I have it filtered by Aquafusion. So all the records that have Aquafusion are in this filtered range. Now let's say I want to sort this by name in ascending order. So to do that, I can come inside the formula and start the formula with sort. And I give this as the array. And I put a comma and the sort index. So here I want to sort by the first column. The first column is the name, so I will put 1 there. And for the sort order, I will say I want it in ascending order alphabetically from A to Z. So I will type 1 and close bracket, press enter. See now, all my names are sorted in alphabetical order from A to S. What if I want it sorted by the highest sales to lowest sales? In that case, I can come here and sales is the 5th column. So I will change this to 5. And then I will have in descending order from highest to lowest. So I'll make it -1 and press enter. Now I got the highest sales to lowest sales in descending order.
Thanks for watching.